Purush. So is Amjad. Remember the times that she lived, late 19th century, early 20th century. Social modes were so different. And yet she says that just as Sharat is my son, Amjad, a Muslim dacoit by profession, they are the same. And this was just not a word of mouth which came out from her mouth. It was the real experience. Second, when Varda Maharaj Ishananandaji brought some clothing for her relatives during Durga Puja, he being a Swadeshi, he brought the court's quality cloth. And they were naturally displeased. There were small children. So mother also was displeased. Why did you bring these? No, no, these are made here in our country. Why should I buy the stuff that is coming from England? And what did the Holy Mother say? She said, they are also my children. So continuing our discussion, I would now request revered Swami Shuddhidananda Ji Maharaj to kindly deliver his address.
Paratmanamekam jagadbijamadyam niriham nirakaramokar yato jayate palyate yena vishvam tamisham bhaje liyate yatra vishvam. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. First of all, Jai Shri Ram to all of you. My humble pranams to revered Swami Shantatmanandaji Maharaj and revered Swami Atmashraddhanandaji Maharaj. Today it is an extremely holy day for two reasons. One is it's Ram Navami, the very ideal of the soul of India, Bhagwan Shri Ram. And secondly, it's Navaratri, the worship of Divine Mother, which is underway. And incidentally, we are also deliberating about a very, very special person. A very special person who is extremely difficult to be understood. Why I'm saying that she is extremely difficult to be understood? Before I get into the main subject of Shri Sharada Devi as a guru, let us try to understand who is a guru. You see, we are seeing this mysterious world with our sense organs. Extremely perplexing and confounding, something we are perceiving. It's a matter of experience for all of us. Behind this, there is a power, there is a Shakti, which is bringing about this most amazing thing called Vishwa Prapancha and Brahmanda. We can infer, seeing this amazing Jagat, we can infer that behind this, imperceptibly, there is existing one power which is at the root of everything. Just now, what I chanted before I started my talk here, it is Jagat Bijam. Paratmanamekam Jagat Bijamatyam. It is Jagat Bijam. It is the very seed of this entire Vishwa Prapancha. And this seed which we are referring to, if we go back to the Upanishads and the experiences of the great rishis, it is experienced by those people, those great masters, that the supreme reality which we are referring to as Parabrahman or Paramatma, it is its own Shakti. This Parabrahman, through its own Shakti, is manifesting in the form of this Jiva and Jagat experience which we are having here. And this Shakti, which is also known as Maya, it is Brahman's own Maya. It is Brahman's own Shakti. About this Shakti, Sri Shankaracharya makes a very profound observation. 3 words he uses. He says that this Mahamaya, this Shakti, how was it? Atigambhira. Atigambhira means which cannot be fathomed. Human mind won't be able to fathom. Human intellect won't be able to fathom what this thing called Mahamaya is. Because human mind itself is a product of Mahamaya. Atigambhira. Duravagahya. He says Duravagahya means which is inscrutable. You cannot categorize the Shakti into this or that. It goes beyond all categorization. It is Duravagahya. And then he says, Vichitraha iyam maya. Atigambhira, Duravagahya, and Vichitra iyam maya. This Maya is something which is unfathomable. It is inscrutable and which is so variegated and perplexing that human mind won't be able to understand what it is. This being so, we have to accept the fact that everything here is its plane. Now, the personality which we are talking about today, Sri Sharda Devi, all these 3 words which Shankaracharya has used for this Mahamaya is 100% applicable to this amazing personality called Sri Sharda Devi. She is Atigambhira, unfathomable. We won't be able to fathom through human intellect who she is. Secondly, she is inscrutable. Her inscrutability is evident in so many of the incidents which we find in Sri Sharda Devi's life. And she is variegated. Her play is beyond human comprehension. You may try to apply your intellect and you will see that we utterly fail to understand her. So, we are trying to understand what this phenomenon called Sri Sharda Devi is and her role as Guru. Now, who is a Guru? Is Guru a human being? Ishvara alone is the Guru. That Parabrahman alone is the Guru. Parabrahman in and through its Shakti, which is Ishvara, Ishvara alone is the Guru. This Ishvara has got its 2 roles. This Mahamaya has got its 2 roles. One role, the main role is that it hides the reality, it keeps us in darkness. And this also is that Shakti which reveals the truth. When Ishvara reveals the truth, that is the Ishvara's Guru Shakti. Through Ishvara's Guru Shakti, Jiva comes to know about what the ultimate reality is and what is the true nature of the Jiva itself. So, who is a Guru? Ishvara alone is the Guru. This is the Siddhanta in our great Vedic tradition. And this very so-called Ishvara, from time to time, when I'm talking about Ishvara, please, we need to understand that it is Brahman associated with Shakti. It is this Shakti which from time to time comes down in a special form to fulfill a special mission. Now, it is believed that in our tradition, in our Ramakrishna Sangha, that Sharda Devi is a very special manifestation of this Parama Prakriti, this Paramesha Shakti. Shankaracharya uses a beautiful term, Paramesha Shakti. What an amazing term it is. I always say, if we really try to understand what this term is, you will understand what we are talking about. Everything here is the play of Paramesha Shakti. It's a play of this Mahamaya's plays going on. And without her grace here, nothing can happen. Especially when we are talking about spiritual illumination, we should understand that it is sheerly the grace of this Mahamaya. Unless she opens the door, no one will be able to understand what the ultimate reality is. She holds the key to spiritual illumination. See, we are talking about Guru Tattva. Guru is not a person, it is a Tattva. Unless we have the grace of this Guru, no one will be able to understand what that ultimate reality is. Again, Shankaracharya in the beautiful, in his Annapurna Stotram, he says, it is this Divine Mother. It is this Divine Mother, what a beautiful verse it is. He says, Moksha Dwara Kapata Patana Kari Kashi Puradhishwari Bhiksham Dehi Kripa Valambana Kari Mata Annapurneshwari. Hey Mata Annapurneshwari, please give me the Bhiksha of Moksha. It is you alone are holding the key to Moksha. The door to Moksha and the key to that is in your hands. Unless you open the door, who can understand the mystery of life and existence, and who can be freed from the cycle of birth and death? None. Moksha Dwara Kapata Patana Kari Kashi Puradhishwari Bhiksham Dehi Kripa Valambana Kari Mata Annapurneshwari. So we are talking about this phenomenon called Guru. Ishvara alone is a Guru, and that Ishvara comes down from time to time in a special form to accomplish certain very special mission. Now, one very special feature of Sharda Devi, whom we are talking about today, extremely special, means that is what actually is the most striking thing about Sri Sharda Devi. What is it? Her ordinariness. Outwardly, she looks so ordinary that her ordinariness is extraordinary. Her ordinariness is totally deceptive. Looking at the surface, you will see she is just like any other woman which we find in our Indian homes. I have to tell one thing very frankly. When I first, long back, some 30 years back, when I first read Sri Sharda Devi's life, truly speaking, I was not at all impressed. I found, what is this? We find a description of a woman who is cooking, who is cleaning the house, who is washing utensils, who is washing clothes, who is feeding her children. And the description is that, see, Ma Sharada, she will first feed all the children and then she will sit last to eat for herself. I would always wonder what is so surprising about it and what is so special about it. We have seen our mothers doing it. We have seen our mothers and grandmothers, our aunts and sisters, they would do the same thing. They would be doing all the household chores. And when they feed, they will first feed all the so-called members of the family, and she would be the last person to eat in the house. This is what we have seen in our houses. So what is so special about Sri Sharda Devi, and why are we beating her drums like this? This feeling, even I got it when I first read Sri Sharda Devi's life. This happens. Her ordinariness is so deceptive. To understand what this phenomenon is, it is very difficult. Now, I always say, we have three sources to understand what Sharda Devi or who Sharda Devi is. Unless they had revealed this, who this lady is, we would not have been in a position to understand who Sharda Devi is. One source is Sri Ramakrishna himself. Second source is Swami Vivekananda. And the third source is Sri Sharda Devi herself. It's a challenge. If these three sources had not been there, no one would have ever understood who she is, her true nature. It's impossible. even the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, apart from Swami Vivekananda, none of them could really understand who she is unless they were informed and illumined by Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. If Sri Ramakrishna had not told who this phenomenon called Sri Sharda Devi is, no one would have ever understood what she is. So we find Sri Ramakrishna making such wonderful statements. I'll come to that Guru part a little later. Let me first touch upon this point, the difficulty in understanding who Sri Sharda Devi is. Can we understand her just by reading books? Do not even try that. Unless she makes us understand, we won't be able to understand who she is. She is not to be fathomed through the words of the books. It is her anugraha and grace alone which can make us understand who she is. It is impossible otherwise. So Sri Ramakrishna says that who is this Sharda? There are several incidents now. And the time is less. I'll just touch upon one or two incidents. Sri Ramakrishna, once you will find his sevak, who was misbehaving, a kind of not behaving properly. Hridayaram was not behaving properly with Sharda Devi. And Sri Ramakrishna noticed that. And what was the warning given by Sri Ramakrishna to Hridayaram? He said, Hriday, you can misbehave with me, and if you do that, perhaps you will be saved. But this person with whom you are misbehaving, mind you, if she becomes enraged, your Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh won't be able to save you, my dear boy. Be careful. This is a mild hint about who this person is, who on the surface appears to be so simple and so extraordinarily ordinary. An ordinariness which is so deceptive, absolutely deceptive. Everyone gets deceived by seeing her on the surface, what she is. She is not what she is appearing on the surface. Second incident. Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda, who was how do we describe? Yesterday we had the description. The world-conquering Swami Vivekananda, the Digvijay Swami Vivekananda. This Vivekananda, when he came back from America, just imagine what is his stature. Now see, we see tremendous spiritual power manifested in Swami Vivekananda. No one would doubt about it. It's so evident, just like a midday sun. Who can doubt the existence of the midday sun in the sky? That is Vivekananda. So blazingly evident. So much of power manifested. This Vivekananda, when he comes back to India, and he is going to mother's house for the first time to make Sastanga pranams to her. Why? It was by mother's blessings that Vivekananda had gone to the West. I'm not going into that incident. Before going to America, Swami Vivekananda had sought the permission and the advice of Holy Mother, and it is Holy Mother who said, yes, you have to go, my boy. You have to go. And by the anugraha of this great phenomenon called Mahamaya, then rest it's on the play of Mahamaya. What else? Who spoke through Vivekananda apart from Saraswati? This very power. Swami says on that day, 11th September, he first bowed down to Saraswati, this very Shakti. Unless the Shakti's anugraha is there, who can even utter a single word? This power. Anyhow, Vivekananda, after coming back from America, for the first time he is going to so-called Mayarwadi, mother's house in Calcutta. And the scene is so perplexing. Swamiji is going in the boat. Swamiji and a few others from Belur Mutt, with both they are going to Mayarwadi. And Swamiji is repeatedly he is sprinkling Ganga water on himself. Repeatedly. It is so interesting. Why? So one of the fellow travelers asked him, Swamiji, why are you doing this? Again and again, you're repeatedly sprinkling Ganga water on yourself. And why do we do that? To purify oneself, is it not? When we sprinkle Ganga water on ourselves, they get purified. That is the idea. And Swamiji was seen to be very nervous. The person who has conquered the world is seen to be so nervous, so shaky, and he is repeatedly sprinkling Ganga water on himself. Why? Somewhere Swamiji is feeling that I am not pure enough to go into the presence of this person who is Pavitrata Swarupini. Her Pavitrata is so blazing that Swamiji is somewhere suspecting. That was the humility of Vivekananda. He felt somewhere I am not pure enough to be in the presence of this great phenomenon called Sri Sharda Devi. And after going there, in Mayarwadi, Vivekananda is making Sashtanga pranams in front of Ma. And then it's a very interesting scene. You may be knowing that. Do you all know that? Vivekananda has never seen the face of Sri Sharda Devi. It's another very amazing thing. Vivekananda has not seen the face of Sharda Devi. Can you imagine this? She always used to remain covered. Her face was never revealed to so-called Narendranath. On that day also, Vivekananda was sitting on the ground and Sharda Devi is sitting on the cot. She is covered. And then Mother is so delighted to see her Naren, Sri Ramakrishna's Naren, my Naren. And Sri Sharda Devi, she is praising Naren for what he has accomplished. She is praising Naren to skies. Sharda Devi is saying, my dear Naren, you alone could have done this. What wonderful things you have done. You alone could have done and accomplished what you have done. Naren is listening to all these things silently. He is not uttering a single word. When Sri Sharda Devi finished, then Narendranath told something very beautiful. He said, Oh Ma, do I not know who accomplished all these things? All these things, was it accomplished by me or was it accomplished by you? If you wish, by your mere wish, you can create thousands and thousands of Vivekanandas. Remember, we are talking about this Mahamaya Shakti, which is behind this amazing thing called Vishwa Prapancha, without whose grace not a single blade of grass moves here. We are nothing, we are just instruments, we are just puppets, the strings held by this great phenomenon called Mahamaya and Shakti, of which Sharda Devi is the manifestation, a very special manifestation. And this phenomenon is Duravagaya, Atigambhira, and Vichitra. It is unfathomable. We cannot understand what this is. Anyway, coming back to this Guru Tattva. So, this Guru is Ishvara alone is the Guru. Ishvara is that entity which reveals the truth to us, without whose grace no one will be able to understand what the ultimate reality is. No one will be able to accomplish Khandana Bhava Bandhana. Every day during Aarti time, we are uttering this statement, Khandana Bhava Bandhana, Khandana Bhava. Every day we are doing it. How is this Khandana Bhava Bandhana going to be accomplished? By human effort? Never. We can try, we are trying. But it is being accomplished by this Mahamaya herself. Unless she opens the door, nothing is going to happen. That's why we need to worship this power. We need to surrender ourselves at the feet of this power, without which nothing can happen. So when we talk about this Guru Shakti, wonderful definitions we find in our Shastras. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri guruvair namah. Who is a Guru? Guru is that person, that Shakti, that Paramesha Shakti, which removes the darkness from the hearts of the aspirant and brings light there. Illumination comes from Guru Kripa. Shankaracharya says in another place, Yasmad Bandha Vimokshanam. Bandha Vimokshanam means it is through the Guru's Kripa that one attains freedom from bondage. One accomplishes Khandana Bhava Bandhana by Guru's Kripa. Now, Sri Sharda Devi, as I said, about whom Sri Ramakrishna had said, she Sharada, she Saraswati, she has come to impart knowledge. A very important statement, is it not? So see, as I said, unless Sri Ramakrishna had revealed who this lady is, we would not have understood who she is. Unless Vivekananda would have told us that who she is, we would not have understood who she is. I always say we have these three sources in and through which we today are understanding what she is. Otherwise, it would not have been possible for the common man to understand what Sharda Devi or who Sharda Devi is actually. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says that she is Saraswati, the giver of knowledge, the imparter of knowledge. Interestingly, Sharda Devi, speaking about herself, had made a very important statement. She had said that Thakur has left me behind to place before the world the ideal of the motherhood of God. You must have read this. So we have two statements here. One is Sri Ramakrishna saying that this Sharda, she is Saraswati, she is Sharda, she has come to impart knowledge. And Holy Mother, talking about herself, she is saying that after Sri Ramakrishna is passing away, she is saying that, you see, Thakur has left behind me for what? To keep before the world the ideal of the motherhood of God. Now, which one is true? Are they conflicting? No, they are not conflicting. Both of them mean the same thing. This motherhood of God, Ishvara is mother. And the imparting of the knowledge of spirituality also comes from there. See, what is the role of a mother? Mother is the one who gives the best things to the children, is it not? Mother is one. Always any mother, mother will always want to give the best thing to her children. And the best thing to be given to the child is what? The spiritual illumination. So mother is Guru also, and the Guru is also the mother. You find this perfect blend in Sri Sharda Devi's personality. As a Guru, she is also playing the role of being a mother, and as a mother, she is also the Guru. Now, some of the very incidents which come to my mind, talking about her role as Guru, is that, you know, in Mayarwadi, there used to be huge crowd every day. Devotees thronging and lining up to make pranams to Mother. This used to be a very routine matter there when she started living there in Mayarwadi. And it was seen that so many devotees coming and making pranams to her. And it would so happen that someday Sharda Devi, when devotees are making pranam, she would be repeatedly going and washing her feet with Ganga water. She is going repeatedly and washing her feet with Ganga water. Seeing this, one of her disciples asked her, Mother, why are you doing this? So she says, why? What can I say, my dear? When, see, all kinds of people are coming here, and all of them are not of so-called good character. Many of them, they are into wrong ways of life. They do sinful things, and they come and they touch my feet. And when they touch my feet, my whole body burns, literally burns. I get an unbearable burning sensation, and for that, I repeatedly go and wash my feet. Now, in this, we have to understand one thing. Guru's role is twofold actually. It is one, but it appears to be twofold. When the Guru gives a mantra diksha, or when the Guru gives a diksha, there is a transmission taking place. The transmission of power. One is the Guru's, that liberating power gets into the receiver or the disciple, and at the same time, the Guru takes over the so-called the sense of the disciple on his own self. So Guru is also a path. See, that's why Holy Mother's life you can see. If she is a Jnanadayini, she is also Papanashini. Because without this eradication of the sinful tendencies, the illumination can never come. So this twofold role you will find Sri Sharda Devi playing in her life, throughout her life, you find this thing happening in Sri Sharda Devi's life. On one side, she is imparting spiritual knowledge, and in the process, she is taking all the sins of the so-called the disciples on herself, and she is suffering. Now, any number of incidents we can go through. Some of the incidents Maharaj has already touched upon in his introduction, but it deserves to be revisited. It can be once again talked about to understand. See, when we talk about spiritual illumination, what do we mean by spiritual aspiration? Somebody, this morning chanting, we had the chanting done by our brahmacharis here. The first thing, perhaps in the beginning, it was chanted, Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. This is what is spiritual life. It's a journey from darkness to light. It is a journey from that which is unreal to that which is real. It is a journey from death to immortality. And who facilitates it? It is facilitated by Guru. Without Guru's kripa, without the Divine Mother's anugraha, this is not possible. So in this process, you will find it is the purification of the disciple. The progressive purification of the disciple is what actually results ultimately, culminates ultimately in spiritual illumination. And Sri Sharda Devi was facilitating that in her life. She would take up the burden of the sins on her own self, and she would bring illumination in the minds of the disciples. So one incident, let me just repeat that incident. 3 devotees coming to Sharda Devi for spiritual initiation. And Sharda Devi, I'm sorry, not Sharda Devi, they are going to Raja Maharaj, Birul Math. They are going to Raja Maharaj for initiation, and Raja Maharaj could see that these 3 persons are absolutely involved in all kinds of sinful things. Their character is very bad, not deserving initiation. In fact, it is difficult to initiate them. So what does he do? He writes a letter of introduction and sends them to Holy Mother. And when they went to Holy Mother with the letter of introduction from Rakhal Maharaj, Mother also saw that these people were utterly into all kinds of sinful activities and they have come for initiation. Mother also outrightly rejects. No, I cannot initiate. And they go out of Mother's room, but they don't go back. They again come back to Mother, pleading and weeping. Oh, Mother, please initiate us. Again, Mother rejects. No, I can't. This happens 3 times. Finally, in the 4th time, it is said that after all, see, Ma is Ma, Mother is Ma. What happens? She finally accepts to initiate them, and those 3 devotees are initiated. And then they go back. After initiation, they go back, and this news reaches Raja Maharaj. And then the incident is that, Raja Maharaj is totally shocked to understand that what actually originally they had come to Raja Maharaj for initiation, and Raja Maharaj sent them to Holy Mother. And now Raja Maharaj is shocked that she has initiated them and she has taken the burden of their sins on herself. And Babura Maharaj is saying that, my God, the poison which we could not digest, it has been drunk by Sharda Devi. Even one small drop of that poison would have burned us to ashes, and Sharda Devi has drunk that entire poison. This Sharda Devi was doing throughout her life, any number of such incidents. One lady who was, again, she was living a very immoral kind of a life, into all kinds of wrong ways. And she comes to Sharda Devi, just for her darshan. This happened in Udbodhan in Mayarwadi. And there she is standing on the gate, and she is pleading from there, "Oh Ma, I have come here, I want to have your darshan, but I am not pure enough to step into the presence of your house. So I cannot come inside. I'm just standing at the door and I'm pleading for your darshan. Please give me your darshan." This is the thing which we find the description there. Hearing her voice, hearing her call, Mother comes out. Mother straight away comes down, Mother is seeing that this lady has been living a very wrong kind of a life. She had been into all kind of immoral ways. But mother, in spite of all these things, she comes down and she puts her hand on that lady's shoulder, just like a mother welcoming her daughter. She welcomes that lady inside, takes her inside, and she gives her mantra diksha. She says, "My dear child, till now, whatever you have done, offer it to Sri Ramakrishna. Don't worry. From now onwards, don't repeat it. You take this mantra and see." Now, this is what is Sri Sharda Devi's role as a guru. She is imparting the spiritual knowledge to everyone. At the same time, she is removing the sins of these so-called ordinary people. Now, any number of such incidents can be narrated. One speciality of Sharda Devi. Now, see, as I say, there are two kinds of gurus. Now, this is just for our convenience to understand. We can categorize gurus into two. One is the so-called ordinary guru. And when I say ordinary guru, I'm not underestimating that. That is also very, very great. I am calling them ordinary in comparison to the special manifestations which come once in 500 years. That is, avatara as a guru is one thing. In comparison to that, the other gurus I am calling ordinary. But they are also not ordinary. Guru is never ordinary. Guru is the conduit through which the spiritual illumination comes. But in comparison with those great manifestations which comes once in say 500, 600 years, in comparison to that, these gurus can be said to be ordinary. So the way of imparting spiritual initiation by the ordinary gurus is of one kind. And the way of imparting spiritual initiation by the avatara is of a totally different kind. Because these avatars, they come with tremendous spiritual power. As I said, they are the special manifestations of that Paramesha Shakti coming from time to time to impart spirituality to humanity. And when they come, their way of spiritual initiation is very unique. I'll give you some examples. One person, devotee, I think his name was Surendranath Sarkar or something. I may be wrong also. This Surendranath Sarkar, he had gone to Sharda Devi for initiation. And Sharda Devi had agreed to initiate him. And just one day before, he was in Jaramati and he was preparing himself for initiation. Just like, we all have gone through this process of initiation. A day before that, there's a lot of excitement in our hearts. We are going to meet our Guru and we are going to receive the mantra. So naturally, all of us have gone through that phase. There is a lot of some kind of a excitement in our heart, and we become very intense in those days. Surendranath also was very eagerly awaiting that moment when he will get the mantra from Holy Mother. A day before that event, he was spending the whole night in cremation ground there. And he was praying. There was one dilemma in his mind. Now see, we are talking about the special kind of initiation which is accomplished by only such great avatars. This cannot happen, mostly doesn't happen with the so-called ordinary gurus. So what happened? Surendranath was meditating in the cremation ground and he was worried about one thing. What is the thing that he was worried about? He was worrying, in his family, there was a tradition of worshipping God in a certain form. And he wanted the mantra of that deity alone. So he was worrying, I don't know, next day, whether Sri Sharda Devi will give me mantra of that deity or some other deity. So he was worrying, whose mantra I am going to get? Will I be getting the mantra of that deity whom I have been worshipping from my childhood? So this kind of a dilemma which was going on in his mind, which was troubling him. With this dilemma, next day morning, he went to Sharda Devi and sat before her for initiation. And now, see the fun. As it usually happened, the procedures, Sharda Devi is straight away, after showing him with the fingers, straight away Sharda Devi is pointing at the wall and saying, you see, is this not your deity which you have been worshipping? Surendranath was straight away seeing the deity which he has been worshipping from his childhood. Straight away the image of that. Sharda Devi is saying, is this not the deity you have been worshipping? Okay, I am giving you the mantra of that. Now this is the special kind of a initiation which only the special manifestations of Paramesha Shakti alone can do. They can give what exactly we want, what is suitable for that spiritual aspirant. And this kind of event we find any number in Sharda Devi's life. One more incident which comes to my mind, last one, and I will just wind up my talk. The time is over. In this way, we find this Sharda Devi as a guru has been a very difficult topic to talk about, actually speaking. Now, as it was pointed out, Sharda Devi was not only a guru in spiritual matters. Even in our day-to-day transactional plane, where we have to deal with the world, her wisdom was amazing. There's one incident regarding Advaita Ashram I would like to just keep before all of you, just 2 more minutes. We all know what happened. And really, Ramakrishna Mission will remain eternally indebted to Sri Sharda Devi. If she had not taken this decision, I don't know in which direction we would have been going. This incident is not that simple and not that ordinary. It's a very, very important incident about what is the philosophy of Ramakrishna Sangha. See, just reading Kathamrita, we would have formed different kinds of ideas. You can have any number of interpretations reading Kathamrita. But what is the core ideology of Ramakrishna Sangha? Who would decide it? I'm sure even Vivekananda's words would not have got that kind of a reception from his disciples. What happened? You all know, but let us just revisit that incident. Swami Vivekananda, after starting Advaita Ashram, see the gravity of this event. Vivekananda had dedicated Advaita Ashrama completely to the preaching and practice of Advaita and Advaita alone. And in spite of that, in spite of this exclusive dedication made by Vivekananda, very interesting thing, his own disciple, his own disciple was not willing to accept this mandate. And he went against his so-called guru and he started worshipping Sri Ramakrishna in Advaita Ashrama Mayavati. And when Vivekananda came there in 1901, one day, interestingly, the story is very interesting. Swamiji is opening the door and seeing here Sri Ramakrishna is being nicely worshipped, a small shrine is there, and the puja is going on. And he became extremely agitated. He didn't speak anything. But his face turned red because it was something which was against what he wanted. But he didn't utter in a single word. That night, even that tradition is there even today in Advaita Ashram, the night class. Every day in the night after the dinner, we have a night class. Even today it is there. Just imagine these glorious traditions of Ramakrishna Sangha. 125 years, that tradition is still going on, which was started by Vivekananda. What amazing things. Parampara. Nothing is greater than Parampara. So, in the night class, Swami Vivekananda very vehemently expressed his displeasure about what he had seen. He disagreed with the disciples, saying that, no, this is wrong. This ashrama here, Ramakrishna should not be worshipped. Here we have to go to the root of everything. Om, nothing else. Brahman. It's Advaita. Nothing short of that. Now see the interesting thing. This disciple who was worshipping Sri Ramakrishna there, he was not satisfied and he was not ready to accept what Vivekananda was saying. He wrote a letter to the Supreme Court of Ramakrishna Mission. He wrote a letter with all the expectation that he thought, how will Sharda Devi go? How will she disagree with worshipping of Sri Ramakrishna? After all, is not Sri Ramakrishna her own consort? So he expected that Sri Sharda Devi will definitely support him. But from there the letter comes. The ultimate verdict. The verdict that we are all Advaitins. Sri Ramakrishna was an Advaitin and we are all Ramakrishna's children and we are all Advaitins and Advaitins alone. This is not a small event, my dear devotees. Remember, if this verdict had not come from Sri Sharda Devi, Even today, we would have been quarreling and fighting about what is our ultimate philosophy. 90% of the people would have taken the stand that we are Dvaitins, we are Vishishta Advaitins. No, we are Advaitins or that Advaitins alone. It is the great Upanishadic parampara which is continuing in and through Ramakrishna mission. And this Advaita is that Advaita which has got no quarrel with any system. This Advaita includes Dvaita, Vishishta Advaita and everything, but the ultimate picture is that there is one reality alone. There is no second. Now, this verdict has been a great verdict which has put to an end a great debate which otherwise could have laid Ramakrishna mission astray in different paths. So, this is the role of the Guru. Finally, I would say that Sri Sharda Devi's role as a Guru is an amazing thing. She was not only a spiritual Guru, she has given such great directions to Ramakrishna Sangha, which has guided the Sangha in difficult times. And we are seeing the Sangha flourishing today, and behind that is her Anugraha. I pray to Divine Mother, Sri Sharda Devi, to bless us with bhakti, to bless us with jnana, to bless us with vairagya, to bless us with viveka. Without her Anugraha, nothing can happen. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, Maharaj. Pranams to you. Following from Maharaj, a very small but very, very important incident. This is on the 1930s. Swami Apurvanandaji, a disciple of the Holy Mother, writes in the Bengali book, Dippoloker Katha. Swami Vivekanandaji Maharaj, the fourth president of the order, he had a dream that Thakur appeared before him, not once but twice, saying, the mantra that you are giving, where is her mantra? Her meaning Holy Mother. At first, Swami Vivekananda, he did not bother about it. He thought maybe it's my some fiction of my imagination. But Thakur came twice and said, she is holding the key to the mukti. Without that, your mantra is not complete. And it is on record in that book that from that day, a Bij mantra of the Holy Mother was introduced in the Diksha mantra that we all have today. Thank you very much, Revered Maharaj. Swami Shuddhidananda Maharaj is the Adhyaksh of Advaita Ashram Mayavati. We had such a wonderful experience to listen from him, and we are waiting for more in the next session. Maharaj.